Welcome back to the King Closer Reacts. I am the King Closer, RJ Bates III, and today we're going to be reacting to other people talking to live sellers. I want to see if they're closers or not. Let's get into the first video.
$150,000, yes.
Pro tip, never live negotiate with the seller. It's always some other person that's the bad guy. It's never you. It's your lender, it's your partner, it's XYZ who says that we can't pay that price. So put them on hold, call them back, do whatever you have to do. And that also means you can do kind of cool stuff like this.
See if we can't take a deeper dive here, but like if we came back at only like 38 or something like that, is that even worth calling you back about?
Yeah, just check with me and I'll check with my wife and see if we can do that. We can go ahead.
See, in that case, I wasn't even the bad guy. I was saying, yeah, man, I'll check with my underwriters, but like, let's just say they can only come up to like 38,000. Is that even worth calling you back about? And bam, he says, yep, I'll pretty much come down to 38,000.
All right, so we're back with the fake underwriting department. Good cop, bad cop. This is the argument. I love how my team picked this out and said, hey, RJ, why don't you react to this? Because we all know what my reaction is going to be. I don't like it. I don't like lying. I don't like manipulating sellers. And in this scenario right here, he asked the seller, if we were to do something like 38,000 and the seller wanted 50, what he should have done is educate the seller on why he needs to purchase the property at $38,000. This makes you the authority in the conversation, but instead he's wiping out all of the leverage that he has. And so he's going to go talk to his imaginary friend over here who's going to say $38,000 is what he's approved for. This is just going back and forth now, where it's going to be, I got to go talk to the underwriter, I got to come back. I like to do it all on one call. The other thing that I really disagree about is he's saying never negotiate with a seller. He says you can even hang up the phone. I absolutely disagree with that. One of the biggest issues that wholesalers have is contact rates, getting the seller to answer the phone. They're motivated for a reason, and a lot of times that motivation can stress them out and make them not answer the phone, avoid you, ghost you. These are problems that we naturally have to overcome. This is just one of the many reasons why I don't like the fake underwriter. All right, moving on from the fake underwriter, let's see what we got here.
Son was going to call you today. He wanted to see if there was any way Raw could up the offer by $3,000.
I mean, we're really not making any money on this as it is. I argued to even get it to 50 grand, so I got it to 52. I know every little penny helps though. So I can definitely argue with them again and see if we can get a couple extra thousand out of them.
Well, just don't make them angry before they change their mind.
No, they won't change your mind. They're called the Underwriters. They kind of just assess the value of a deal for us. And, you know, I'm the phone guy, so I'm on your side. I'm trying to make sure you're happy and you're taken care of as much as we can and still get the deal done.
I appreciate it. Oh, I appreciate it so much. You have no idea. I think I'm going to sleep tonight for the first time, and I don't know when.
I'm glad.
And I believe we have a deal.
All right. Shout out to my boy Nick Robbins for putting back-to-back fake underwriter calls for me to react to. Thanks, Nick. I really appreciate that. I'm just going to piss off the entire industry today. Listen, this is a sweet old lady. This is a very common type of conversation that we have. He's offered her 52. She wants him to come up to $55,000, okay? But because he took away his leverage and the initial negotiations where he had to go to his fake underwriter and get them to agree to this $52,000, and he fought for that extra $2,000. Now when she comes back and she says, can you do $55,000? He's going to have to put her on hold or get off of the phone to try to have a fake argument with his fake underwriter to renegotiate this price, instead of just clearly explaining the numbers to the seller and saying, this is what I can, and this is what I can't do, and this is why. Again, in this conversation, the seller says, I think for the first time, I'm going to be able to sleep at night. My question, and I don't know this wholesaler, he seems like a good guy, just from what I could tell, but How do you sleep at night when you're consistently all day, every day, lying and making up stories to sellers that are in this type of position, right? They need our solution and we're just lying all day long. This is what's being leveraged against us as wholesalers. The NAR, realtors, lobbyists are looking at us and they're saying, you're lying and you're manipulating the sellers. If we just cut that out, this didn't help him close the deal, right? That's not what got him the deal whatsoever. She was going to accept $52,000 whether or not he talked to a fake underwriter or not. However, if you are building your business, the foundation of your business is based on a lie, I think that's where you have to look internally and say, where are my morals and where are my ethics?
Okay, well, I just have a quick question before me and Damien get off the phone then. I mean, we can call you back later.
Okay.
If we were just going to buy this thing cash, like, no, this thing's been listed for a while. Like, we just want to buy this thing. I'm not here to negotiate. I'm not here to play games. What price works? We buy this thing cash, closing costs. We close this month. Like, just what number works?
160,000.
160? I would probably do 160, but I'm just being honest with you. Damien's a stickler if we're going to rent this thing out. I mean, we'd probably have to be closer to like 135,000.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
What works?
Like I said, 160.
160.
You know that 25,000.
Okay, so that's my good friend Zach Ginn right there, using his closers formula. And in the title of this video is just, he's going to lowball the seller, right? This is how he wants to negotiate with sellers. He asks them, how much would you take? 160. And then he lowballs them at 135. This clearly didn't work because the seller said, you asked me what my best price is. And I said 160. He comes back with 135. He says, that's not going to work. And he said, well, what is going to work? And he's like, I just told you, dummy, 160. Okay. This is the problem with how Zach negotiates with sellers. If you go into this conversation and you ask the seller, how much do you want for this property? And they say 160. And then you go through and you verify their motivation and the condition and their timeline and everything like that. And you realize 160,000 is the incorrect price. This is where you should educate the seller on why you cannot pay 160,000. See, he did none of that. He just blindly asked, we take 135 without really building any value or any explanation as to why that is the price that he needs. If you go in and you explain that the property could be worth this amount, the after repair value, and then it's going to cost this much to achieve that after repair value in rehab, that is how we're coming up with the most that we could pay you is 135,000. This is how you successfully negotiate these types of calls. Let's just hope we never see Zach again on the King Closer Reacts. Okay, let's check out our last video. Let's hope there's no fake underwriters or Damiens or Billies.
So that's what you would like to walk away with, right? 100,000 in your pocket? Okay. Would you consider 90 net to you?
I'm still thinking 100. So
Gotcha.
I maybe can, like I said, you're the first person I talk to.
Sure.
So I could,
Sure.
just put it, talk it up with other people first and see where I can get my net the highest. And
Right. So right now, 90,000 is still too low for you. I'm not sure if I could, but obviously I want to do my best for you. So if I can convince my team manager to accept the price, 310,000 as the purchase price, of course, I'll let him know that we will have to pay for all the closing costs, all the fees. So you would walk away with 100,000 net in your pocket at the time of closing. So if I can get that approved with my team manager, are you ready to get the paperwork done and sell your property?
yeah.
Okay.
All right. What a great episode of the King Closer Reacts. Every single person used a fake underwriter. This is hilarious, actually. Does anyone else in this industry just say the truth? Does anyone in this industry want to be a shot caller, an authority figure? Are we all that chicken shit that we have to make up that there's someone else calling the shots in our own businesses? Come on, Kong. I like you, man. Like, what was that? You're better than that. And the thing, You ask the seller, all right, you want 100,000 in your pocket. Will you take 90? Why would she take 90? Just because you're asking for it? Build value before you want to get the seller to come down on their price. Explain why they should come down on their price. So if you say, okay, you want to walk away with $100,000 in your pocket, I completely understand that. But here's what I'm going to do for you, Mrs. Seller. I'm going to cover all of the closing costs. There's no realtor commissions. I'm going to be buying it as is. I'm not going to ask for any repairs, and I'll close on your time frame. With that being said, what's the best price you could do for me? Now, when we ask it that way and we provide the value, that's what normally gets us the 10 to 20% price drop. Not just, hey, Billy wanted me to ask, would you take 90 instead of 100? I'm assuming you get told no all of the time. All right, so that's our episode of the King Closer Reacts. I guess we'll just call this the Underwriter episode because all 4 videos that we reacted to had some sort of finance manager, financing department, or fake underwriter. And listen, guys, I'm hard on this because I think that we can be better. And we don't utilize that here at Titanium, and it never impacts our ability to close deals. So I know I'm going to get the comments where it's like, it works for us, but really think about it. Is it working for you? Is that the key factor? Or is it just the fact that you've closed the deal and that's part of the process and you're giving that the credit? At the end of the day, I've never watched one of these videos where someone used the fake underwriter and that leverage point is what allowed the deal to become a close when it wasn't already going to be a close. It was just nonsense that we included inside of the process. So for me, I'd love to see this be eliminated from our industry, and I'll just keep talking about it until it finally goes away. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you give us a like, and we'll see you next week on the King Closer Reacts.